3, 2, live.
Farts. Old farts. Two old farts. Steve and Dave. Sometimes you find a diamond in the rough. Not this time, though. This is just rough. Two old farts. There is no better waste of time. Two guys. Two old guys. A lot of BS and more drivel than you can shake a stick at. Steve and Dave. God help us.
Oh, I like that. That's a good
Well,
intro.
there you go.
I like that intro. Here, let's scare
Yeah,
let's scare the
yeah.
people watching. Ooh, there we go.
Oh, scary
yeah,
stuff.
I know.
Very scary.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
we got to scare them. It's not Halloween, but we want to get the kids ready. So happy, we're still in 2024, David, just so you're clear. So we're still recording in 2024. I'm just letting you know. So, and we have a special guest today that you
Yeah.
found,
Okay.
actually.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's because I'm a sort of semi-professional stalker.
Stalker?
So stalker. I see this artwork and I think, oh, who's that? Who's made that?
Right.
And then I start to stalk them and say, look, you know, please come and tell us, you know, why you're so brilliant and why, you know, why I like this stuff so much. And this is a gentleman called Big Al, and yeah, so he's got. I think we've got some slides, and maybe if we got time, we got a little bit of a clip of a montage.
Cool. And they call him Big Al because he's over 6'6". So
yeah.
So I don't know what that is in centimeters. So that's like 200 centimeters.
Yeah, well, you have to be careful in the US, and at least I've got time to get on a plane and go somewhere else if I upset him if he comes this way.
He's in Pennsylvania. He's with the Dutch. They drive around in little carts with horses. We're fine. They probably still listen. They don't even use indoor plumbing in Pennsylvania. I mean, they're just getting to that.
I've never been, so I'll take your word for it.
All right. Well, let's bring Al in. Do you want to run his 40-second video before we even bring him in, so people can see that?
Yeah, let's do that because it's an animated logo, I think, from his website. It doesn't have any sound.
Okay, so for the next 40 seconds, you people on the podcast that are whatchamacallit, that are listening, or that are listening to the show, for 40 seconds they'll be quiet. So most of you will be thanking God for that. And then in 41 seconds we'll have Al, and then they'll be talking again. But for you people watching, there you go. Okay. Go ahead, David. Show it this, and then we'll bring Big Al.
So here we go. I'm having problems with a little bit of delay. I'm having problems with delay on the line, so please forgive me, people. You keep freezing, but here we go.
Technology. Oh, very pretty. And we will put the link to Big Al's site for you people that are listening in the description. I like this one, the one that reminds me of the Beatles. I saw that on his site. We'll put the link so you can see all of Big Al's work. And so we're going to show you about 10 pieces of his work. And then we'll bring everybody into the studio, and then there you go. Very cool. Very, very cool. And now it's not just me. There's David. Kind of maybe David. And we're going to bring Big Al in too. There you go. Everybody's here.
Yeah.
Good to be with you.
Good to be with you. Thanks for being here. That was very cool. I like that. I was looking at your site earlier, and I saw the cows that take off on the Beatles, and I like that. Made me smile. I like that's a very cool. That's a very cool painting, if you will.
Well, when we go through the images, that's one of them, and I can explain about how that came about.
Sure.
But I appreciate you showing the video because I have been involved with. Well, first of all, I just turned 80 on the 2nd of January.
Happy birthday!
This last weekend,
happy birthday! Yeah,
I had my entire family gathered together to celebrate my birthday from various states. 6 sons, 4 daughter-in-laws, 3 girlfriends, and 13 grandkids all gathered together for the weekend.
Al, I have a question. When you say 3 girlfriends, are those your 3 girlfriends, or are they just 3 girlfriends of the kids and whatever?
2 of my sons have a girlfriend, and my oldest grandson has a girlfriend, and they brought their girlfriends. So actually, first time we got to meet them. So
Very
it's
nice.
kinda neat.
Okay. Okay.
So anyway,
My first thought, of course, Al, is that they were your girlfriends. That's
Right.
what I.
That's all we asked.
My girlfriend,
In the US, anything can happen.
I've had my girlfriend for 55 years.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Very nice.
Wonderful, wonderful loving partner. Anyway, I mentioned about the being 80 because I'm still working full time in advertising.
Oh, wow.
I had 30 years as an art director and associate creative director, primarily in New York, although I started in Detroit at Campbell-Ewald in the Chevrolet account. And then I started 30 years ago my own business, Boundless Creativity by Big Al Gruswitz, so come June, it'll be officially 60 years in advertising for me.
Wow, very cool.
So, I think that I don't know whether I'm more amazed at the fact that I'm still working, or the fact that the clients are still coming. But the thing is that I've got a very good reputation, and some of the images I'm showing you have been selected by Lazur's International Archives for their 200 Best Digital Artists Worldwide Annuals. I've been in that book 3 times, including last year. And so I enjoy what I do. And I got very enthusiastic about AI. I started working with Midjourney in June of 22, and I've co-authored 2 books with Brian Sykes on prompting with Midjourney, and so I've just actively involved. I have projects all the time from clients where I'm utilizing my Photoshop capabilities, my 3D capabilities, and AI, and combining them together in a project. So I've got one of those right now doing 15 images.
Nice. Well, let's take a look because unfortunately we can only do to about 10 images because then the audience just nods off. So we'll take a look at these 10 images, and you can tell us a little story about each, but I think this will give people the idea and the depth of your work. And then we'll have Big Al's links below, so you can go to his website and see his stuff or purchase his stuff or whatever you'd like to do. But his stuff is phenomenal, absolutely gorgeous. I was looking at it, like I said earlier, and I was just like, wow. Like I would hang his 2D art, if you will, in our collection because it's just pops and it makes you smile.
Al, I've been a bit naughty. I've got one of yours as my screensaver.
Oh, great!
Didn't ask you, unfortunately, but
that's all right. You're welcome.
Only up to it now. Here we go.
There we go. Oh, we had it. Hold on, Dave. There you go. There we are.
There you go.
For the Jurassic Park people.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was like Black Friday in Walmart or something.
It is. It's Black Friday in Walmart. Yes, that is very true. So.
This was one of the pictures that Lazur's picked for their 200 Best Digital Artists back in 2013. I had done 33 3D dinosaur illustrations for the Discovery Channel's Encyclopedia of Dinosaurs. And I had all of these models that I had for doing that project. So I decided to do a little sample thing of the way I would like to have it done. So I did this canyon attack image and then submitted this to Lazur's, as well as the next picture. That one utilizes posable figures, and all of the dinosaurs are posable figures. And
so could you just explain that then to the audience, because I don't know what that means. So
sure, a posable fixture started off. There's a company called Poser, but the better ones today are with DAZ 3D and DAZ Studio. And what you do is you bring the figures in, and then you can move the arms, the legs. You can pose them in any pose that you want. And so each of these figures were individually posed. And then what I did with this, as well as the previous dinosaur picture, is I bring them into a program called Vue, V-U-E, which is a program that they use out in Hollywood for 3D scenery. And I just really like the lighting and everything there. So this scene and the dinosaurs was created in Vue. The canyon in that picture was all created in that program. You see the little rocks down there. There's dust being kicked up, and then the lighting with the lens flare. All of that is done within Vue, and the depth of the atmosphere. I control every aspect of the image. So
could I just go back to these figures then, because I'm a bit slow on the uptake. But so these images are you add them to the general scene, and the software that you're using you can actually adjust them as if they were models. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, they have a skeletal structure inside. So so you can bend the arm, you can move the fingers individually, and expressions, facial expressions. The other thing you can do is morph them so that they can be older or younger, or fatter or thin or muscular. All of those kinds of things are possible to do with these figures. Now, with the Encyclopedia of Dinosaurs, I was able to purchase various dinosaur models, but there were 6 that were not available that they wanted to have. So I commissioned a fellow who calls himself Dino Roll, who is of all places, Baltic Estonia, and he made these 6 models that I needed for this project with the Discovery Channel. So I think part of what I do is I'm aware of other sources and everything. And for example, I can do modeling of 3D objects, but generally speaking, ones that are more natural, not mechanically accurate. I have a phenomenal guy believe it or not, in the Ukraine, who does phenomenal mechanically accurate modeling. And I just had him do a big project with me for one of my clients, where there was like 5 different sizes of medical vials, 5 different sizes of packaging, but then there was 2 different doses. So there was 9 packages, 9 vials, different labels. And then we wanted different pictures of them, box with the vial by itself, box by itself, combined in groups and stuff. There were 78 different pictures that we had to do for that project. So he's a wonderful guy to work with. And fortunately, even though the war is going on, he was available to work with me for the 2nd time that I've used him.
Wow. So let's move on to slide 3.
Yeah, this is my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw this and I just smiled. And I like, this is a beautiful. For the people that are listening, it's the take of the one where the Beatles are walking across Abbey Lane, if you will. So,
yeah.
Right. I have a client medical agency known as Calcium. And Calcium uses
Cows.
cows, my 3D cows, in all of their self-promotion stuff. So I have done cows lifting a barbell up over their head. I've done them playing guitar like Pete Frampton and all different things. Well, this was one of the MM&M, Medical Marketing and Media magazine, wanted various agencies to design a album cover that was indicative of their agency. So of course they wanted to use the cows, and they decided they wanted to do the Abbey Road takeoff. This is Madison Avenue, but Madison Avenue is typical of New York streets, has lots of cracks and potholes and more people and more cars on the streets and everything than you're seeing in this picture. So this is a stock image. I retouched those things out, and then I colorized it to go in the same style as the Abbey Road cover. The cow bodies are all 3D objects that have been posed into these different poses. And then the heads on them are actually photographs of cows from stock images. And the first fellow was wearing a white suit, so I made him the whitest cow. Ringo was the second cow, and he had on a black suit, so I put it in there. Unfortunately, you can't go in tight, but I actually think that cow looks a little like Ringo. Anyway, what they selected this for Lizers in 2021, and then the client liked the picture so much they wanted to use it for their holiday card. And I said, well, this isn't very wintry. So I ended up creating a light snow in the scene, light enough that you could see the cross walk lines. I put hats and scarves on the cows and carrying shopping bags or presents under their arms, and then decorated the street going down with gigantic snowflakes all hanging, across the road, and they had lights that blinked inside because we did an animated thing, and the snow is falling, and that was animated as well. But I'm really obsessive compulsive, and I use it in my work. And I said, they didn't ask for this, but doggone it, we're not going to have window air conditioners in the windows in the middle of winter. So I proceeded, without being instructed to do so, to remove all of the window air conditioners from the picture.
Yeah, get all the facts right.
Yeah.
Okay, we go to slide 4.
This is 2 of the 4 AI images that Lizers selected for last year's 200 Best Digital Artists Annual. These are not drawn. They are not photos or composited or anything. These are images that are created with an AI program that is a prompt to image type of program. So literally these were created by my writing a prompt of what I wanted in the pictures. And
okay, this is also a Midjourney then,
This is Midjourney, yeah. And actually this was the Midjourney 4. We're in 6 now. But what I wanted, I looked at the chameleons, and my kids had various chameleons as pets at different times. And I always thought that the decorations on the chameleons looked like jewels. So I just went further with that and bejeweled all of these 4 chameleons that so that they were literally decorated with jewels. and I specified what the jewels were and all that sort of thing, and where the jewels were to fall and everything. Was all in the prompting in terms of following the ridges of the chameleons and everything. So, yeah, it's a very exciting medium to work in.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I was quite taken. I wondered whether or not you'd drawn it when I first saw it, but it had an element of AI about it. So
yeah. Well, this one.
This one is now officially my screensaver.
Okay, well, let me tell you what the prompt was. The prompt was incarnation beginning first with the birth of the cosmos. So, one of the theories is the incarnation of Jesus is the first incarnation, but there is some thoughts of creation itself being the incarnation of God. And so this was, this is sun and moon personified, but literally the Midjourney interpreted incarnation beginning first with the birth of the cosmos into this image. So
yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah, it was just I used a couple of screens just for the video editing and for the shows. So I'm sort of I'm stuck in between the ladies at the moment, and yeah, it seriously draws you in, and it's almost a Renaissance feel about it as well, which I quite like. Yeah. Hey,
it's interesting bringing in flowers, and there's a hint of buildings in the background, and oceans and sun and moon, all that is all.
And the other thing is, of course, these flowers at the front. They remind me a lot of. They're slightly refined. If they were slightly more, shall we say, rough in their appearance, they would almost be a Van Gogh. The way that it almost looks as if it's sort of put on with a palette. So that's it's quite remarkable. But hey, that's just me. That's just me.
One of the things about I didn't specify an art style here, but when you're prompting with Midjourney or any of the other programs that are now available, you can specify art styles, and I've done things with like 7-color silk screens or Portuguese blue tiles, things in the style of Peter Max or things. That brings up an interesting thing, though. One of the things that the group of people on LinkedIn talk about frequently is there are people who are concerned that you're stealing other people's art, as sources for all of these images. What we try to do is to not use living artists' styles as such. So I did do some stuff that was Peter Max, but for the purposes of exploring, not for the purposes of selling those images or whatever.
But you see it in all art. That people go. I mean, Paris just after the First World War, a lot of people went down, and they were seeing stuff that Picasso was doing, and got really infected by all the colors and the way that it's put on heavily with the palettes, and so all artists are influenced by other artists.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, famous artists had their group of people that studied with them and things like that. I went on a website that listed various images that were utilized as sources for these open AI programs, and I found at least 3 of my illustrations that were listed as things that being used. But my point of view is this is kind of like the price to pay for the fact that we have the internet and we have everything available to us. Also, why were they able to access them? Because I've put my artwork out there in all different places, Behance and different websites. My clients have got my artwork on their sites. It's all out there, and fine. I'm glad the program is learning from what I've done, in traditional illustration.
Yeah, and we're going to tick along now, I think, because we're see the time is always against us. Yeah, photo AI, Muse.
Yeah, this is Midjourney also, and the thing is that what I was studying in a series of images was low light photography. So this is like, just at sundown, it's photographers call it the golden hour. The hour before sun sets and the hour just after sunrise. And I can't tell you how many different photo shoots I was on as a art director where we had to get out on the location way before sunrise in order to be all set up and be ready to take the pictures when the sun first was coming up. But the thing that is, wonderful about this program is you can get images like this and specify, a race. We'll talk a little bit more on another picture about what happens when you put in an adult woman. Generally speaking, they're going to give you somebody in their 20s, a beautiful lady in their 20s, unless you ask for something else. And so generally speaking, Midjourney will give you a beautiful white woman in her 20s, unless you specify, race and of course, you're specifying male or female. But
well, that says a lot about the programmers from Midjourney. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a matter of think about a kid is a little kid, a teenager is a certain thing, and an adult, well, that's somebody over 21. So if you want somebody that's middle-aged, we'll put in middle-aged, or you want somebody that's old. This is an example here. I'll read you what the prompt was that did this. But the reason I did these images is because a woman came to me on LinkedIn and was complaining about the fact that all she was getting was these beautiful young ladies in her prompt, and she wasn't getting what she was looking for. So she described what she wanted, and I wrote this prompt to show her these pictures. An ordinary-looking, dark-skinned woman in her middle age, working in a hot kitchen, preparing potato salad. She's sweating. Her hair is disheveled. She's tired. The room is dark, lit by natural window light. And these are the images I got. And I showed them to her, and she said, that's exactly what I was looking for. I mean, these, have atmosphere and a sense of mood, but also this reality of what this person's going through in these pictures, because I told it that that's what we wanted. I wanted to have that kind of atmosphere, and it's kind of the dark lighting and everything is kind of Rembrandt-like,
Yeah, more familiar, I think, the way that the object itself is lit, with the light coming in. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, that's that. That's like what you put in is what you get out, and I think so. All the skill is with your prompting.
most of what I post on, I would say 95% of what I post on LinkedIn, I'm giving my prompts. A lot of people are very protective of their prompts, but I'm interested in educating people on how to prompt, and I'm also educating them on what kind of subject matters that they can take on, you know. And this is an example of that. I wanted to have a product shot, extreme close-up of highly detailed tire tread splashing in a muddy pothole going down the road, and so I did that image, and I did a variety of other things that could be utilized in an ad, you know, and I wrote some headlines and stuff for various things to put on it. You know, if so, you know, I mean, it's just a matter of saying, see, folks, this is the type of stuff you can do with these programs if you just, you know, explore. And that's the thing that I stress all the time to people is exploring. Try things, try doing things. And okay, if one of the things Brian and I wrote a book about was one-word prompts. See what that one word says. What does effusive do when you put that in as the only prompt? And once you do that, you will be able to see how it affects the prompt when it's in a more complicated prompt. And you know, experiment with these things. Sometimes the thing that you think was the subject in the prompt, which is usually put first, may not really be what you wanted as a subject. Maybe you've put it down further in the line. So maybe the way to fix the prompt is to move the words that are down the ways in the prompt up to the front to put you know, that as the emphasis of what you really want. So all of this kind of stuff, explore, you know, experiment.
So you talk about you talk a lot about Mid-Journey. Have you ever used DALL-E out of ChatGPT 4 or not?
I have used DALL-E 3. I did use DALL-E 2, but it was so inferior. But DALL-E 3 is terrific. Musavir is out of United Emirates. And it is a wonderful program, and they also have the capability of creating a consistent avatar. So I actually did a series of images where I used a photo of me as the input for the avatar, and then I used prompts from one of the architects that's on LinkedIn. June Chow is in Malaysia, and she puts up various architectural challenges regularly. Well, she hit a challenge of apartments in Portugal, and so I put myself into these apartments in Portugal and out on the little deck, you know, looking out at the city and stuff like that. And they're amazingly consistent. I said I have photographic proof that I've been in Portugal, even though I've never been in Portugal.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
But, Al, I was going to ask you, I mean, there was a time in advertising where everything was painted, done by hand. And then, of course, with the high-speed digital cameras, everything swinged over to that. Now this AI is. Are your clients looking to go back to that more sort of almost retro look at it, or because when I look at this, it does actually look like it's AI. It doesn't look like a photo.
I'll throw in one more step in there, and that is 3D. You know, was in there as well, and basically AI is another tool, and you don't always get exactly what you want with the images. And I'm frequently, bringing this into Photoshop. Of course, now Photoshop has got AI capabilities, and if you look at my retouching samples on my site, the first two retouchings are primarily done by using the AI capabilities of Photoshop. A little bit of traditional retouching in there, but mostly using AI to build the scene. So anyway, I've got a third agency that has asked me just last week if I would do a training session with them on using Midjourney and Photoshop with the AI capabilities. I've also proposed another program or another training session that would involve looking at the various other programs out there. I did something with Bing, and they're using DALL-E 3 on Microsoft's Bing, and I wanted to do an episode of the TV show of Sherlock Holmes with Cumberbatch as Sherlock, and it did a great job of creating images of Sherlock. Have to take a look in the storytelling section of my site to see this story, but it even includes where he decides that he's got to go in disguise to find out who the killer is, and so he disguises himself as a homeless man and looks all disheveled. It looks just like Cumberbatch putting on this disguise and then laying down in the alleyways behind the stores where the murder had taken place and stuff. So this one is one from, I did a series of prompts that had a lot of reaction on LinkedIn. And what I was doing was using various mathematical terms as the prompts.
Even very Blade Runner-ish.
Yeah, this is infinite geometric series is what this is. And I also did fractals, golden ratio, binomial expansions, Taylor polynomials, parametric equations, all using those as prompts, and got some of the highest views of, I think the one was over 12,000 views, and the one that this was involved with had over 10,000 views. And, it's, again, what is it that you can do with these programs? I'm not putting in equations as such, but I'm putting in mathematical terms to see what it will generate, and some of the stuff in fractals and golden ratio and things are just incredibly beautiful. And you can do architecture with fractals or golden ratio, and just it's a matter of, look, folks, there's more capabilities here. Take a look at what's possible here. And so that's what I do. I mean, I have such enthusiasm for these programs and stuff that I just want people to really understand what they can do with it, and to if I can help them to grow in it. Okay, I'm teaching these agencies that I do illustrations with and how to use these programs. Does that mean I'm cutting my own throat? Are they going to not be coming to me because I've taught them how to use the programs that I use? No, it doesn't, because you know what? I'm better than they are on it. And
well, not only that, but you have the enthusiasm and love for it, and it's like and I mean this, and it's like you're 20 again, right? It's like you've kind of just got out of university, and it's like, look what's here, and it's like boom. So,
exactly.
Which is a lot different than what's 20 today and coming out of university. So yeah, so you can teach them, but they'll still be coming back to you. This is a gorgeous picture, by the way, of the lion. This is very beautiful.
I wanted to include this because this is V6, Midjourney the 6, and what I wanted you to see was the V6 has got so much more beautiful detail. If you put in an old man sitting on a chair or whatever, you're doing a close-up of his face, the wrinkles, the hair and everything, it's amazing the details that you're getting in this. And this is true in scenes as well. But the close-ups really give you a sense of what this new version is capable of doing.
Right.
I don't know if it's because it doesn't have a background, but this I would dispute whether or not it was a photo or not.
Yeah. So I mean,
I think sometimes the backgrounds give it away on the AI, but yeah. Yeah,
but I did several different animals, Galapagos tortoises, and
well, if you go to your website, you'll see not only that, but you'll see elephants, birds, chipmunks, raccoons, horses, beetles, apes, camel. I'm looking. It's like there's one of a zebra, which is absolutely just great. It goes with the moose that I have behind me. Just that look. You have one with a pig and it looks like a vulture, and their look is priceless. And dragons. So no, I mean, like, if people should just go and look at the gallery. So one of my questions to every artist that comes on, whether it's this or our other art shows, is your stuff for sale for the average person? Like, if someone goes to your site and wants one of your creations, can it be made into 2D for them so they can get it framed and hung? Or, and I don't want to say NFT, but is it just sort of like they can just buy a digital, whatever you want to call it, and that's what they own?
Well, I work primarily for advertising agencies, and
okay.
And a lot of what I have has been done for clients. Now, in the AI galleries, and there's 7 of them, and you were just talking about the animal gallery.
Just the one, yes, not all, just the one.
There's 6 other galleries of AI images. Those I have not, were not done for clients. And I'll tell you what I'm actually looking at guys, with this end of, well, not end necessarily, but 60 years in the business. I will be debating about whether I'm going to continue working or not, but I will continue to be doing art and stuff. But I own all this art, and so the cows, the Abbey Road cows, I can't sell that because that's owned by Calcium.
Right.
But the other dinosaurs and the 4 chameleons, I own all those. My thought is to look into the possibility of selling those 6 images as NFTs.
Gotcha.
And my thought is to sell them as one of 2. So I would keep one set of NFTs for myself. But the thing is that because they are all, award-winning images, I thought that would be a great way to start selling NFTs and get a reputation right off the bat with those things.
Keep in mind, if you do that, do polydigital. We used to do metaverse NFTs and whatnot many years ago, and we had world famous artists that would say, "I'm going to do an NFT," and go sell it with a piece of paper, something I can hang. And they said, "Why?" I said, "Because at some point, which is happening now, the NFTs, like whatever it was, Board Monkey went from $1 million down to $6. But if I still have your original art, now I have 2 assets, right? I have a digital asset that at some point in 100 years it'll be worth something, but for me, because I really don't care about the digital asset, I have a physical asset on my wall that I look at every day when I walk, whether it's into my office or down my hallway or whatever it is. So you may want to consider that. And then this way, when they buy it, they just don't get A, they get B. And that will also then, it's still one of two, but it's one of two that's it. And then this way they can determine down the road if they want to sell the physical asset or the digital asset. And in 20 or 30 years, I think the digital stuff will be big again. In Asia, it's big. I think your stuff, yes. But then again, I'm still very old school. And if I'm collecting art, I don't care who you are in the digital world. If I can't hang it on my wall, Picasso could come back tomorrow and go, I'm only doing digital. I'm like, means nothing to me until I can hang it on my wall. And so just keep that in mind when you
you're not the first to recommend that as a bonus to people that buy the digital file to also give them an enlarged print.
Because it has your autograph on it, right? It's like to whoever, whatever the date is, and like it becomes personal. So when I frame that, there's a value to it. And the problem with the NFT and the digital art, in my opinion, is it's a JPEG. And it's great that I own it. I can put it on the blockchain. But really, at the end of the day, it's a glorified JPEG. So I still want, when I collect things, whether it's Chinese artifacts, whether it's art, whether it's whatever, I want, if it's one of one, I want one of one. Now, you can take a picture of my one of one. It's a picture, right? But if I'm giving an NFT and it's a JPEG, it's a JPEG. And so when they were doing like Bored Apes and the rest of the stuff, in my mind, I was like, are you kidding me? It's like, that's crazy. I don't care how I'm become a Bitcoin billionaire or millionaire. That's ridiculous. So I look for an asset that I say, I smile when I see it, but I can see it every day when I'm doing something. And that to me is better than just having, if you will, an NFT. And if we have NFTs, that's great, but it better be tied to an asset somewhere that I can go touch. So just FYI.
I'm fully in agreement with you. One of the things I thought about a long time ago of doing with that Dinosaur Canyon attack was making wallpaper out of it, so that have a whole wall of life-size.
The one behind you that reminds me of Blade Runner. That is wallpaper, my friend. That is going to be for some gaming room. And I don't mean it for like a 14-year-old. I mean for like a 30-year-old. That's going to be their gaming room wallpaper or their man cave, because that is just spectacular. But yeah, that, I think in that respect, you're spot on.
There's just, might I say, there's boundless possibilities.
Yes. There you go.
Yes, there are.
Well,
And
Big
there's
Al,
also,
unfortunately, as much as we want to sit here and talk to you, yes, right. As much as we sit here and talk to you for the next 5 hours, it's coming up to that time. So we want stay with us after the end credits. But thank you so much for your time. Your stuff is absolutely wonderful. And Big Al's links will be below. You can go look at everything we've been talking about, and I've been doing during the show while they've been talking. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. And then if you need to get a hold of Big Al, his contact information is there. And you are more than welcome to come back whenever you would like, my friend, and tell us what you're doing.
Please.
Or if you come up with a new series of something and you want to promote it, we're here for you.
Oh, that's great.
Absolutely. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you back on, Al, because, when I was contacting you at the get-go, you kept saying to me, I've got so much stuff, Dave, I've got so much stuff, how can I choose? Well, we've had to choose, unfortunately, because time's against us. But I'm sure, we'd love to have you back again and have another look, another sneak into your amazing portfolio. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day. Everybody, don't forget to subscribe and like. David, take us home.
Bye-bye.
Probably